Welcome, everyone. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? Today, we're breaking down one of the most brilliant and honestly enduring survival stories ever told. In this explainer, we aren't just looking at some simple children's fable, no. We are examining an absolute masterclass in strategy, psychology, and asymmetric warfare. We're going to unpack the legendary encounter between a very clever rabbit and an incredibly hungry lion. I am absolutely thrilled to dig into this with you because the tactics used in this little micro-narrative, they're simply fascinating. Let's get started. Now, this is the ultimate question, isn't it? Seriously, what do you actually do when death is literally staring you right in the face? Picture this. You are completely cornered. There's zero physical escape, absolutely no backup coming to save you, and your opponent is overwhelmingly stronger than you are. That is the exact incredibly high-stakes scenario our protagonist finds themselves in today. It's the ultimate test of fight, flight, or in this amazing case, outsmart. Section 1. The Hungry Lion and the Rabbit. Notice the sheer, terrifying contrast here. On the left side, we've got the hungry lion. The source text explicitly describes him as roaring and aggressive. He represents raw, unbridled physical power and total dominance. He's at the absolute top of the food chain. Then, on the right, we have our rabbit. Small, physically weak, and according to the script directions, visibly terrified. He is the ultimate underdog. If this were purely a physical contest, well, the outcome would be decided in a fraction of a second. The rabbit has literally zero physical leverage here.
And that brings us right to the inciting incident. The rabbit realizes the danger is totally imminent. He thinks, oh no, the lion is coming. I need to think of an idea quickly. Look at the urgency in that statement. The rabbit is experiencing pure, unadulterated panic. That totally natural physiological response of fear is taking over. But here is exactly where the magic happens. Instead of just freezing up or pointlessly running from a much faster predator, the rabbit actively forces his brain to engage. He realizes his only path to survival is cognitive, not physical. He needs an idea, and he needs it right now.
Meanwhile, the lion bursts onto the scene with absolute, undeniable certainty. He roars, "Rabbit, today you will be my meal!" Notice how there's no negotiation here, zero hesitation. The lion is operating entirely on pure instinct and entitlement. He doesn't see a worthy opponent at all. He just sees breakfast. But this overconfidence, this absolute certainty in his own physical superiority, that is exactly the weakness the rabbit is about to exploit.
Section 2. The Rabbit's Master Plan.
This part right here brilliantly illustrates the rabbit's ingenious on-the-fly survival strategy. According to the source material, the rabbit's demeanor completely shifts at this moment. He actually goes from being visibly scared to smiling. Why? Because he's just formulated a three-step trap. Step 1, invent a rival to trigger the lion's territorial instincts. Step 2, relocate the conflict to a highly controlled environment, which is a well. And Step 3, use that environment to create an illusion and let the lion basically defeat himself. It is a flawless execution of using an enemy's own momentum against them.
The really crucial point here is exactly how the rabbit delivers this bait. He says, "King Lion, first defeat that other lion who is challenging you." Notice that brilliant phrasing. He starts with King Lion, which immediately strokes the predator's massive ego. Then, boom, he drops the bomb, a direct challenge to that very kingship. He doesn't sit there and beg for his life. He completely changes the subject. He fabricates a much more pressing threat to the lion's pride. The rabbit is essentially telling him, hey, I'm not important enough to eat right now. You've got a much bigger political problem to deal with. It's just top-tier psychological manipulation.
Section 3. The Dangerous Well Trap.
Predictably, the lion's reaction is instantaneous. He snaps right back. Where is he? The hunger for food is instantly replaced by a much stronger hunger for dominance. The lion is completely blinded by his own rage and impulsiveness. He doesn't stop for a second to question the rabbit's story. He doesn't apply any critical thinking whatsoever. His ego has been threatened, and he feels he just has to neutralize that threat immediately. And this allows the rabbit to take complete control of the situation. Think about it. The physically weakest character is now leading the strongest character exactly where he wants him. The rabbit guides this furious lion right to the edge of a deep well. The lion looks down into the water, and just as the rabbit planned, he sees his own reflection staring right back up at him. We've hit the absolute peak of the drama. The lion, staring into the water, roars, "So, you are my enemy." This is literally the ultimate display of confirmation bias.
The lion expects to see an angry, aggressive rival, right? And because he's projecting his own anger and roaring down into that well, the reflection perfectly mimics an angry, roaring rival right back at him. His intellect is completely shut down at this point. He can't even comprehend the concept of a reflection. All he sees is a threat that needs to be destroyed.
And snap, the trap closes. Driven entirely by brute force and a totally unchecked ego, the furious lion leaps headfirst into the deep well to attack this phantom rival. His greatest asset, that overwhelming physical power and aggression, becomes the exact mechanism of his downfall. Without a single physical blow being thrown by the rabbit, the primary threat is permanently eliminated.
Section 4. The true moral of the story. So what does this all mean for us? Let's look at the final takeaway. On the left side, we have strength. The lion proved that raw power, when it's coupled with ego and impulsiveness, is actually a massive vulnerability. It can be so easily manipulated. But on the right side, we have intelligence. The rabbit proved that a calm, calculating mind is truly the ultimate survival tool. Strategy, emotional control, and the ability to read your opponent's psychological weaknesses, those are always going to trump sheer muscle.
As the rabbit stands victorious at the edge of the well, he delivers the ultimate thesis of our explainer today. Intelligence is greater than physical strength. And you know, it's a timeless reminder. No matter what overwhelming obstacle, or let's call it a lion, you are facing in your life or your work, just brute forcing your way through isn't always the answer. Taking a step back, controlling that initial panic, and applying sharp, strategic intellect is how you actually win. Brains beat brawn every single time.
What an incredible breakdown of a legendary strategy. I really hope this explainer gave you a brand new appreciation for just how brilliant this source material actually is. Think about how you can apply the rabbit's strategic calmness to your own daily challenges. Hey, if you enjoyed diving deep into this with me today, please be sure to drop a like and follow so we can keep bringing you these structured breakdowns. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you face an overwhelming lion in your life or career, are you going to try to outmuscle it, or will you find your well and outsmart it?